Hi, everybody. I'm intuitive medium Sandy Duncan, and welcome to our Halloween extravaganza with Behind the Scenes with Rescue Mediums. Please help me welcome my genius rescue medium friends, Edna Dargie, Michael Lamport, Alison Wynne-Ryder, and Jackie Dennison. Happy Halloween, everybody.
Happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween.
Everybody looks phenomenal. And absolutely incredible. What fun. We should do this all the time.
We should. Oh, yeah. I mean, this, so the viewers know, is my real appearance, and I put on makeup to look like I do the other times.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Secrets out. Secrets out.
Michael, I've just noticed the teeth. That's brilliant.
That's great. Oh, fabulous. Well, we're here to talk about your scariest moments. Filming a scary series, which I'm sure each one had a bit of fright to it. As a viewer, I was frightened all the time, as you know. But I'd love to hear, this is going to be such a treat, to hear from your perspective what you found the most scary.
Well, there's so many different scary ones, really, isn't there? You know, and I was, because I knew we were doing, going to be doing this episode, I was trying to think about, like, what are sort of scary things have we done? And then I thought, well, the whole series is based on scary things. I think for me, one of the darkest episodes was Cricklewood. You know, when we had the demonic presence there, that one was really, to me, that was a very, very overpowering, because I think, was it Bill, the homeowner, and Pamela, and then the little girl, Sydney, and she'd been having nightmares and things, hadn't she? And I think one of the nightmares was she could see this man running after her and trying to grab hold of her.
Bad dreams. Yes. And I put the bad dreams that leave you feeling very disturbed. Yeah.
Once I had a bad dream, I seen a man following me up the stairs trying to like grab at me.
And then what do?
I always say the Lord's Prayer.
Because we didn't know that about her. We never know, because when we're doing the, you know, the premonitions with the homeowners, they don't tell us these sort of things. It's just yes, no, really, isn't it, Alison?
It is.
And so when we were doing the investigation, we came across this little girl in spirit who was literally running for her life. And you know, that's the connection, I think, with Sydney.
The little girl. She's running through a forest. She's running away. Joking. They got hold of her. Oh. And then she ran.
The little girl's sad past is revealed.
To remember him stood on top of a hill and sort of summoning the wind, and it was whipping around him.
I can see a man on a hill. The wind is really howling. It's almost as if he's
making it happen.
Yes.
And at one point he was stood behind you, and you couldn't move, could you, Alison? And I could feel his energy behind you.
No, I felt someone standing on my feet. I literally couldn't move.
I can feel something around the back of me now. I can't move.
Oh God, yeah. Oh.
I can feel something on my foot. Yeah. What the hell is this?
Are you all right?
I can move now. That was literal shivers down the spine.
Yeah. The scariest thing on this one was the images that we were shown, like sacrificial images, an altar. Do you remember?
It's seeing horrific images of sacrifices and some sort of rituals. I can see some instrument coming down like that, crack.
And then I saw like a knife or something. So it was as if it was coming across somebody's throat. And you saw something similar sort of going down, like an axe or something, or a sword chuck
That's
him
it.
down, which
Michael,
It was horrific.
oh, Michael, no, put it.
No, Michael. Put it down, Michael.
Oh my God.
Michael.
The homeowner, Bill, had said that, and we don't see the end product. We don't until the show's put together, and he's talking as the homeowner and saying that he was actually scared for us in advance of us going there because he thought that there was a demonic presence there, and there was. He tried choking me. I was literally going.
I think we're dealing with something here, either diabolic or demonic. I'd like to actually say a prayer for the ladies to make sure that whatever is here doesn't impact them in any harmful capacity. It's just not good.
The little girl, Sydney, the homeowner's daughter, she'd drawn a picture, hadn't she, of a child with, interesting, with black eyes, because I've got black eyes today. Look at that. But she'd drawn a picture, hadn't she, like that, with of a child with dark eyes, that when she looked in the mirror, she saw that face looking back at her. And
what
that
she
was,
saw.
that was that little girl in spirit that we were connecting with. And we didn't know about any of that until we were doing the show and tell.
I've seen a girl in the mirror before. She had black eyes, and I didn't even see my reflection in the mirror.
That's very expressive.
She had long hair. I've seen her mostly in the forest.
Well, she was running past the trees. She was crying out for help, wasn't she?
The daughter's drawing reveals that she has seen the very same spirit girl that the rescue mediums encountered during their investigation.
And we didn't know about any of that until we were doing the show and tell, which is blows me away.
And that's sort of scarier than anybody can make up for Halloween. I mean, because that's real, and that's
it was real.
Really scary.
It was real.
Yeah.
I mean, we can laugh about. We can sort of laugh about, and we were all dressed up for Halloween, but that really was one of the strongest, or the strongest, sort of like, to be dealing with, like, demonic entities, which we were. Flipping heck, when we had the cheers after, like, we so needed that, didn't we?
Yeah, we definitely did. Yeah. What about you, Alison? Which is your sort of scariest one?
Well, like you said, there's so many, but one that I was petrified in, because when I was overshadowed, I didn't think I was going to be able to come out of this. And we had a special helper with this, but at the time we didn't know, but we'd had clues all along. And I just remember with this one, it was a little boy that kept, we both saw him and we were both connecting with him, but then he came through to me and overshadowed me, and he was being abused, and we didn't know who by at the time, horrifically. Yes. And we watched as my hand swelled up.
Oh,
like,
gosh.
Literally.
It did. Yeah.
Remember?
Yeah.
It was, I thought, I can't believe what I'm seeing, but I could feel it.
Yeah.
And it all was lumps all over my hand. They got it on camera, I think.
Oh my God, look at my hand, it's all swollen. There's something
going
wrong.
out of shape.
Oh, Jackie. There's a lump there on my hand. I need to sit down, I feel sick. Oh.
Awful. I was given, well, he had blows to his head. He'd obviously been hit with something hard on his hand. We don't know what, which is why my hand swelled up, because obviously when they overshadow us, they're with us, we are with them. So we feel all the emotion and we go through what they go through. And, and when I watched it back, you don't remember when you go deep into the overshadowing what's happened till you see it back. And that was really scary, seeing it back. like a lot of them are, you know, you're just thinking, oh my God, this is awful. It's awful. It's scary to watch, you know. So
you were screaming, weren't you? I remember that one. You were actually sort of like saying, help me, or, you know, that was very traumatic.
Oh, got me head.
Alison receives the frightened child spirit.
What are you getting out? Oh. Alison.
Don't let them do this to me.
What are they doing?
It's him. No. No.
Who is it?
No.
Who is it?
Please.
Where are you?
Help me! Help me!
We're gonna help you. We can't help you unless you calm down.
No, don't let them do this to me, please.
We're gonna calm you down. Calming you down. I'm calming you down. It's a bad memory. Take the bad memory away. It's not there anymore. Nobody is going to hurt you. Nobody is going to hurt you.
It was awful. And then we smelt. Now, you got a clue at the beginning, Jackie, as to who the helper was, but we didn't realise.
Yeah.
I think at the very start, when we did our premonitions and we're reading them out to the homeowners, obviously they're not allowed to say anything back. You got the name Joyce that they couldn't connect with. And I never thought at the time, and I remember saying to you, that's my mum's name. Sort of afterwards, we realised that it was my dad that was the helper.
That's right, yeah.
You saw smoke. And
I could smell it. I smelled like pipe
smoke. That's it.
Yeah, and you saw smoke.
I could have sworn I heard Alison like that.
Oh, I can smell pipe tobacco.
I saw smoke.
So maybe somebody's reaching out to us.
Maybe.
And then when I was with him, he was shown a train, and it was a toy train that he was given, and it helped to calm him down.
Nobody is going to hurt you.
The train. The train.
Do you want to get on the train?
I want to hold it.
You want to hold the train. Okay. Hold the train. I'm going to put a lovely light in front of your eyes. Nobody is going to hurt you again.
The helper spirit brings forward the child's mother.
Somebody who loves you very much is waiting there for you.
The spirit calmed. The rescue begins.
It just didn't click till after.
Yeah.
And then we realised that it was my dad. My dad was into trains. He smoked a pipe. He was married to my mum, Joyce. I mean, obviously, you know, my mum's Joyce. She's still on the earth plane. And then it was only after at the show and tell that Lucille, lovely Lucille and Norman and what was the daughter's name?
Roxanne.
Yeah. And she said, did he smoke a pipe? And I went, yeah. And she'd smelt it in the house.
But what of the gentle helping spirit who assisted with the rescue?
Now, we did have a helper, Alison's dad. Would you understand the name of Joyce?
It's my mum's name.
It is your mum's name, that's true.
I could have sworn I heard Alison like that.
The rescue mediums believed that the helper spirit was in fact Alison's father. Knowing that his presence would steal Alison's focus and concentration, he maintained his anonymity. Only after the child's spirit was shown into the light was Alison able to divine the helper spirit's identity?
Did he smoke a pipe?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes,
because we smelled
He
the,
did. I smelt him
we smelled
downstairs.
the pipe.
Oh my God.
Oh, I can smell pipe tobacco.
He was in the little room just inside the door when I was looking for pictures, and I smelled it. I said, Norm, I smell pipe, and Norm came and he could smell it too. And I said, I bet you it was Alison's dad, because she said he's around her when she does this.
Bloody hell, I need a drink. I do.
And Norm had said that he'd had that spirit with him, but for like 30 odd years. I think, Edna, you found out that the person that we rescued had actually lived on the land, or lived where Norma and Lucille's house was.
Right, where their original house was, they moved from.
Yeah.
Because they'd had the experiences for a number of years prior to where they live now.
Yeah.
So it had come from their previous home, which was right on the land of this person.
Right.
This marriage certificate shows that on March the 25th, 1846, in Toronto Township, Henry married Hannah Jane Barker. They then purchased a farm and together raised 5 children.
Where do you think their main residence was?
The way you're talking, almost where we lived on Gossett Road.
That's exactly where they lived.
As this document shows, Henry and Hannah Luty built their home on Lot 11, Concession 2, in Toronto Township, now known as Mississauga, the exact location where the homeowners had previously lived.
You said you felt as though you've had somebody with you from
75.
Yeah,
and
from that house.
You've had Henry with you
all that time.
Just a question for Michael and Edna. When you went to interview either of these two families in both these episodes, did you have any hint or any awareness that this might be extra frightening?
Well, let me let Edna answer that, because I'm just going to quickly go to the dentist. I'll be right back.
I can't take any of this seriously, you know, looking at you all.
Yeah, I can answer that.
Oh.
The first one, the Cricklewood one, Bill, the homeowner, he had given 15 pages of an account of everything that had been going on. And he sent away his family to keep them safe. He really was fearful of it. So getting this information prior to the show, I thought, we're in for something here.
I bet.
And that was certainly the case.
Yeah.
And it was almost the same with the Ironwood, the episode that you mentioned, Alison, because they'd had such severe things happen to them prior. They had both, Norman and Roxanne had both been assaulted as well. There was a lot going on. So we knew that, we're waiting. Okay, stuff's going to happen here.
Yeah.
And of course, Jackie and I don't know a thing.
No.
You know, they say ignorance is bliss, don't
I was going to say, it's probably as well.
At that time it is.
Yeah, but then whatever unfolds, it's obviously a surprise to us, because, we know what the story is that you don't know.
No.
But we have no idea how you are going to unfold it.
Yeah.
So it's sort of like surprises all around, which is which makes it fun.
Did you know that in the Ironwood one, to remember, there was a second rescue?
No.
Oh, hey, no.
Gosh. Right, with Lucille and Norm, and it was a more gentle one, and I think that's why it wasn't included.
Right.
But it was a man, his name was James Gay, and he wrote poetry, bad poetry.
Oh.
And he let's see, when he was about 50 years old, he lived in the 1800s, right in that area. He had got, they called it brain fever then, and he would only talk in verse.
Oh, wow.
And so he was also just brought through. And one thing that's interesting is that he had right there in that area an inn called the Frog Pond Inn. And Alison, you had made that sketch for this show.
Oh my God.
Yes.
I remember that now.
Wow.
Yeah.
I remember that. That's actually good for me, that is.
Oh, I know. I thought so too.
That's brilliant.
Wow. Oh my God.
I'd forgotten that completely.
That one wasn't as scary, certainly, as the first rescue. And that's why it didn't end up in the show, I guess. But certainly he tagged along in the rescue anyway.
I was just going to ask Sandy, how did you feel seeing both these? Well, how do you feel seeing the episodes? But because we're talking about Cricklewood and Ironwood, is it? Have I got those right? They're both woods. I didn't realise. I've just realised. That's odd, isn't it? How did you feel seeing these? You know, because these were both very, very strong.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's no secret that every episode is watched with as many lights on as possible. And then I go to the bathroom before, because there's no way I'm getting up to go after. That'll take some doing to get me to move afterwards. But what I love specifically about both as a viewer is, Michael, the music. When the tension rises in the room, and as a viewer, I mean, goosebumps and feeling frightened, the music blends perfectly, as if we're listening to an orchestra being conducted by the devil himself, and the music just twists and turns. So to answer your question, Alison, I was afraid watching, but I was more afraid listening.
Yeah, I understand
the music
that.
just heightened any anxiety I was already experiencing.
Yeah, I can
I love
imagine.
it. Even if I watch like this, I'm still watching.
That's really thanks to our composer.
Yes.
Richard, he is amazing, and he manages to get the feeling of what's happening into his music. And I agree with you, it's scary.
Amazing.
I mean, even though the theme tune is sort of comedic, because it's got you to, you know, as cartoon characters going into the house. If you listen to that music away from the visual, it can be pretty dark.
Did you have a scariest arrival that sticks out in your mind, or they may have been scary for sort of different reasons?
The arrivals, the hearse was scary for me, really.
Yeah.
The hearse.
That was freaky.
That was a freaky one to start with, wasn't it?
Yeah.
The rescue mediums are dead set on helping.
I'm dead cold.
I just feel dead. This is where we start with them.
Yes.
So maybe we're going to get some inside stories.
Sensing that others may be along for this ride, the rescue mediums make contact.
This is going to sound really stupid.
Yeah, so's mine. Tell me yours first.
Tommy Tucker.
And I've just got a milkman.
Jackie and Alison are renowned psychic mediums who spend their days and nights showing wayward spirits into the light.
And then weren't we in an ice box fan thing or something, like a refrigeration fan in one?
We were.
We were perished in the back of that. That was because the doors were like, you know, it looked like being in a prison. The door on that was scary.
Yeah, it's
and
a good job it's not claustrophobic, because when those doors shut, they were, because it's a refrigeration unit. You have to keep it like that. Yeah.
I've got to put this on, I'm so cold.
Laid back and chilling out, the rescue mediums are on their way to help.
This is one of the coolest ways that we're going to travel.
And then the horse that wouldn't keep still. And as we were going around the corners, it was like flinging into the door. We thought the door had opened and the horse had come out.
Yeah, no,
I
you see,
think for you,
that's one of my worst nightmares because I love looking at horses. They're beautiful animals, beautiful creatures, but they've got hooves and teeth. And, you know, and they scare me. You know, they really do scare me. And so we arrived in a horse box with a horse, didn't we?
We did.
Yeah. I mean, it was only a little fella, but even so, yeah, he's got his eye on me, I could tell.
The rescue mediums are on their way to help.
This is not a glamorous arrival.
Jackie and Alison are renowned psychic mediums who spend their days and nights showing wayward spirits into the light.
I'm just remembering Hamilton, where I believe you were both walking down an alley, and two lovely drag queen ladies came up, and I jumped, you jumped, but it was in a friendly way, though.
They were great.
Yeah, they were great. And of course, they didn't tell us. See, Michael and Gregory did not tell us. So, you know, Gregory's the director, Michael's the producer of the show. And they just said, like, this arrival, you're going to walk, and you're going to just walk down that alleyway to the front of the building. So we went, okay. We had no idea whatsoever because they wanted to spring a surprise on us for it to look natural, and they certainly did, because it was we both jumped.
It sounded to me like horses' hooves.
I know, can you imagine?
It was actually stiletto heels that these guys were wearing. So we thought we were being chased by horses.
Jackie and Alison are renowned psychic mediums who spend their days and nights showing wayward spirits into the light.
Oh my God, what is that?
Work which for them is never a drag.
I'm so glad we found you. We've been looking for you everywhere.
Edna, what was one of your scariest episodes? Whether it was a scary episode or whether it was because the research, it was like not coming together or whatever, and it's like, oh my God, panic. Where are we going to go with this?
Well, that's definitely true. But if the research, we don't know where it's going, that's the ultimate scary for me. That's for sure. You know, on a personal level, what I remember is really frightening me was were the places where we could sleep over in the actual building where we were doing the rescue. And there was one where it turned out I was alone in that building, except I think Mike, the camera guy, he also stayed over, but he was quite far away from me. And that was in Port Hope, the Colonel's portrait at the Hillendale Manor. And I stayed over so I could be closer to the research the next day and so on. And it was before the rescue.
Yeah.
So I remember it was a beautiful, gorgeous, big room that I was in. And I noticed when I walked from the door to the bed, how squeaky the floor was. Well, during the night, yes, I heard footsteps. I heard the squeaking on the floor approaching my bed.
Wow.
So I turned on the light. Of course, there's nothing there. So I did my grounding and protection and everything. And then I left the light on and went back to sleep. And then I woke up startled sometime later, and the room had changed totally in front of me. I sat up. The wallpaper was different. The furniture was different. It was like a time slip back in time. And it was either a lucid dream or I'd actually experienced this. But again, I did all the light and everything and eventually went back to sleep. But that really scared me at the time.
Yeah.
Wow.
I had a couple staying here. She was coming out of her room number 3 here, and she saw a tall, dark-haired, distinguished gentleman in this corner. She said, "Good morning," and he looked up very startled and proceeded to walk right through her.
Did anything frightening ever happen on the way to the first day of shooting or on the way out once it was finished?
I don't think
if there was
so.
ever an overlap.
No.
I think our guides probably would have wanted us to have a safe journey going there.
Definitely.
The journeys seem to be very safe.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, the only thing that happened to me once on the way back from, I think it was with somebody else from my office. It was after we were investigating some place to see if it was okay to do, and for some reason I think it was Galt, and he was an ironmonger or like he made weapons and everything. And I remember on the main highway, just out of the blue, getting a gushing nosebleed. That I couldn't stop.
Oh my God.
Yeah. I remember that now. Yeah.
Yeah, that wasn't pleasant.
Yeah. That was another one with knife. That wasn't, wasn't,
Yes, it was.
That was like a past life connection, wasn't it? He'd
Yes.
had an argument in past lives with this guy, and the guy had followed him through to now. And he made things. He had that episode as well. That was an early one with Christine. We had a big chandelier that was moving on its own. It was massive. Right. It was really heavy. We even tried pushing it to see if we could get that, to happen, and you just couldn't. And then we had bats flying around everywhere.
Inside.
Inside.
Real
Real bats inside the house.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, that was very freaky.
That was scary.
It was scary.
Look at that swinging. Oh my goodness. That is swinging. That's heavy to be swinging. Oh, we've got a bat. Oh. They're trying to distract us.
Yeah.
It's interesting how through time people have carried things for luck or carried things to ward off evil spirits, whether it's an evil eye or some sort of crystal or stone or something. Mm-hmm. And it's so interesting when you start paying attention to that in rescue mediums, because Alison, I've seen you with a citrine bracelet. Jackie, so you wear the most beautiful necklaces, usually a pendant with a stone and stone earrings, and similarly with bracelets and so on as well. Is it a conscious choice which one you are just drawn to, which piece or which stone ahead of time?
No, I feel it's sort of like teamwork, with my spirit team as to what I'm wearing, sort of like crystal wise, or anything to sort of like protect and help. I don't know about you, Jackie. So, well,
for me, it depends what I'm wearing. I want something to
there
match
is that
what
as
I'm
well,
wearing.
colour. So we don't get told off by the sound man.
Yeah, exactly.
There is that with the necklaces, particularly.
Yeah. But we have brought crystals and things into the rescue situation to lift the energy. In fact, we did that with Cricklewood, didn't we? We lit candles in the basement to try and lift the atmosphere, and we brought crystals into that again to try and absorb the negativity and then put out the positivity. So that was to aid us in trying, because that was such a heavy dark one.
God.
So that was a conscious choice.
Feeling the otherworldly strength of this dark spirit, the rescue mediums ground themselves with candles, crystals.
It'll be total protection.
And stone.
I'm going to hold this one.
As they prepare for the final confrontation.
We had a cross in that one as well.
Yeah.
I didn't remember it, but when when I saw the video, I remembered the candles, but I didn't remember us having a cross. But that makes sense with what was going on with that one.
Yeah.
And the crystals, of course, as well.
Yeah. Anything that helps. Anything that helps when you're in a situation like that.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And the sage as well. I don't think we use sage on that one. A lot of times though, Sandy, when we finish the rescue, what you don't see on screen is we will go round with a sage wand and we'll smudge everywhere just to lift the vibrations. And a lot of the times, because Alison's a Reiki master, she'll put Reiki symbols around as well. So there's a healing element that goes on afterwards that you don't see on camera.
Yeah.
Well, that's interesting. Wow. Yeah, that's great. What a good idea. And that must help the home sort of come back to balance energy-wise.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for scaring me and millions of other people for the last 15 years and counting. I'm looking forward to you scaring us all for a lot longer.
Great. Well, thanks, Sandy.
Thank you, Sandy. So are we going to do a cheers on that note?
Yes.
A special Halloween cheers.
Oh.
Cheers.
Oh. Whoa.
Cheers.
Happy Halloween, everyone.
Happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween.
Yes, thanks, Sandy.
Yeah, I'm just going to make sure that we've got, when we go into the next season, that we've got somebody that Jackie and Alison can look for. So I'll see you later.
Oh my goodness. If you enjoyed watching Behind the Scenes, please like, share and subscribe to veryparanormal.com, the portal for everything paranormal, where you can watch every episode of Behind the Scenes and every episode of Rescue Mediums, plus so much more. And it's absolutely free. Well, you can't get much better than that. Cheers.